And now, a word from your professor.
I want to talk to you a little bit about the problem you chose to focus on for the rest of the semester. And if you haven't done that yet, you need to do that, because otherwise you can't have access to the material in Chapter B, which will help you research and move toward your proposal. So let's talk about those problems, those chosen problems. A lot of times people ask me, I chose job displacement. Can I focus on this one area of job displacement? Like, for instance, sometimes people who are in the healthcare industry will go, hey, can I write about AI and job displacement specifically in the healthcare industry? And the answer is yes. In fact, not only can you, but I encourage you to. The 5 problems themselves are too big to cover in the kind of project we'll be doing in this class. So you do need to narrow it down. That's why in the textbook, there's a make it manageable section where it asks you to focus on a certain aspect of your problem. So like I said, instead of just job displacement, some people write about job displacement caused by AI in specifically the healthcare industry or in the food service industry. Or let's say you choose deepfakes and misinformation. You notice that's a lot included there. Deepfakes, misinformation. So you could talk about deepfakes in the judicial system or bias in the judicial system. You can choose whatever problem you choose. You want to narrow down to focus on a specific area of that problem. And I'm very open-minded about what exactly you cover when you do that. So you can ask me if you'd like, if you can focus on a certain thing, and I'll probably say yes, and that's fine. Reach out and ask me. But yes, it is fine and even encouraged to zero in on a specific aspect of your chosen problem. But whatever aspect you choose to focus on, remember that it all has to do with AI problems. So sometimes people get confused and they will write a thesis statement or develop an argument just about bias in general, or about deepfakes in general, without talking about AI, or cheating. That's one that happens sometimes. People they'll write a whole thing about cheating in general. However, remember, all of these are focused on problems caused by or made worse by the spread of generative AI. So keep that in mind. That I'm open to whatever aspect of your topic you want to focus on, as long as you make sure that you're focusing on some problem associated with AI. So just to be clear, since it often confuses people, so far in the semester, you have learned a lot about AI and how it's affecting our world and our society. And you've read some things, we've discussed some things, you've done these quizzes, and now you have chosen a specific problem to zero in on. And why? Because we are headed, the whole semester is headed to writing that proposal essay that's coming up later in the semester. We go from learning about things in general to picking a specific problem to focus on. And now, what should you be doing now? People ask me that sometimes. Well, you should be researching. The book guides you on how to research your topic. So you should be researching the stuff I gave you in Chapter B, and then whatever you find on your own. Why are you researching? So that you can later write a proposal essay in which you propose some solution to your chosen problem. So that's what you should be doing right now, is learning as much about your chosen problem as you can, so that you can eventually write that proposal essay. Before that, you'll be putting together an annotated bibliography of all the research you have done, showing what sources you have found and looked at and what you think about them. And then you're going to write that proposal essay. So we're at the halfway point where the class starts to change a little bit, rather than just those little quizzes that just ask you to engage and interact with the text that you're looking at. Instead, you're now focusing more toward an actual goal. Now, keep in mind that the points will change drastically when we get to those assignments. The annotated bibliography and the proposal essay that are coming up, those are major points, whereas all these quizzes are only worth 1 point each out of 100. The annotated bibliography, which is coming up, is worth 25 points, so it's like essentially like 25 quizzes worth. And then the proposal essay is the major assignment in the class, which is worth 40% of your grade, 40 points out of 100. So I just like to make people aware that the point values change as the major assignments start to come in the class. By the way, if you're outside this time of year, like I am right now, make sure that you check for ticks. Ticks are really bad this year. Now let's talk about midterms. I have to have midterm grades submitted by Monday of next week. So let's talk about what that means. Well, this is a summer class, so it moves fast. So we are halfway through this 6-week semester, which means the midterm grade is a check-in to see where you're standing in the class at the current time. Now, your midterm grades don't go on any transcript. They're not permanent. This is merely a snapshot of how you're doing in the class at this particular time. So what I will do is on Monday, I will make sure I've gone and graded everything that has been turned in up to that point and factor all that in and submit a midterm grade for you. Now, if you get a bad midterm grade because you're behind or whatever, don't panic. You still have time to salvage your grade. There's still half a semester left and the major points are still to come. If you got a great grade on your midterm, don't suddenly relax and give up working or anything, because the major assignments are coming in the class. The major points are coming down the road. So if you're doing great, that's awesome. Go you, but don't slack off because there's major stuff to come. Just wanted to put those midterm grades in perspective. And Pookie says,
if you have questions, always reach out, because Professor Erickson is always happy to answer questions and to help you and to calm your panic or whatever it may be. So Pookie says, don't suffer in silence.